I'm Bowen Cairns.
And I'm Todd McCulloch.
And this is it, the finals of Papa 14. These 3 pinball games will determine the Papa 14 World Champion, who will win $10,000. And we're about to get started on Terminator 2. Can you tell us a little about this game, Todd?
Terminator 2 is a great game by Steve Ritchie. It's got tons of flow. It can be very punishing, and obviously these 4 players are great pinball players, so a few things have happened to the game to modify it, to make it a little bit more difficult. One thing is the center post has been removed at the bottom of the game, so that's going to make it much harder. A very important shot in the ball game is shooting the Terminator 2 head. Very important for what's going to end up being the cannon shot, which is very important for multi-ball. That lane has been narrowed with a yellow rubber post there, and so that's going to make that shot all the more difficult, and these players are still going to find a way. They're going to have to make that shot regardless. It's just going to be a lot tighter than it normally is.
Yeah, that shot is very important for starting multi-ball, for scoring jackpots, for scoring super jackpots. All 4 players in this final have had experience on this game in the quarterfinal and the semifinal round, so they should be familiar. And just tell you a little bit about who will be playing in this final. Andrei Masenkov will be player 1. He took 2nd in this tournament last year. He's finished top 4 twice at the IFPA World Championship, and he really is looking for his first major win. He managed to sneak into the finals with the tiebreaker victory just at the last. He and Jim Belcito both. Jim Belcito is coming back to the finals. He was in the final in 2004, the first year it was ever held at the current site. He's back in the final after qualifying in 16th position this year, just snuck into the final, as he is wont to do. Josh Sharp is back in the finals again. He's finished 4th 3 years ago, and is one of the best players since the mid-90s, really, ever since he was a strong junior champion. He won his first game in each of the first 2 rounds, while Jim finished last in his first game in the first 2 rounds, and we'll see how they handle it here. And finally, Kaylee George, who was a finalist last year, was the winner of the IFPA Championship a year ago in Sweden, and he won both games in the semifinal to ensure his spot in the final. Really the best out of the 4 players in the semifinal round. Andrei Masenkov is our first player, and he selected this game, having been the top seed going in. The player can choose the game they want to play or choose to play last. What do you think he's going to be heading for here?
He's definitely going to be trying to get a multi-ball going here. He hit the skill shot. He's trying to get that skull. It's a difficult shot to backhand, so look for them to try and use some dead flipper passes to try and get the ball over that right flipper. It's a much more direct shot from that right flipper.
And a really tough drain there, actually, for Andre. He did make a nice shake move going from left to right there, trying to get that ball out of the center. But unfortunately, very quick ball for him, and here's Jim Belcito for his ball 1.
He's working hard to try and get that ball in the right-hand flipper so he can hit the skull.
There's a shot to the skull, just missed it.
We talked a little bit earlier about that yellow post, how much wider it is. Normally those shots would be going through, but it's almost got to be a perfect shot right now with the way this game is set up. Much more difficult than it normally is.
All right, Jim with a nice shake there to get control on the left flipper, and he'll go for the skull again here, I think.
Normally it is a backhandable shot, but once again I keep going back to that post, makes that backhand even harder, and so he is unsuccessful in lighting the lock.
And a tough drain down the center out of the bumper as he kind of stared at it for a few seconds there.
Trying to figure out what went wrong.
Josh Sharp taking over, and nobody's even hit the lock yet. We'll see if Josh can pull that off.
He nailed it. That thing comes screaming down the right in lane. You hear Josh with some his own audio commentary here. One of the more animated players that we have on the tour. He's makes it pretty clear to the audience exactly what's going on through his mind, in his mind.
Oh God!
Oh no! Get control!
Oh,
what are you doing?
Nice play, Josh. He's got control now on the right. And he's taking his time here to see if he can line up that skull shot. Josh frequently takes a break like this to take a sip of water. It's kind of the same kind of routine someone might be going through before swimming or taking a free throw or doing something very consistent. He's usually very accurate with these shots after breaks.
And you can't argue with it. I think some people get impatient and they don't want to take that time, but it's definitely working for him, and something that I'd like to learn to do better is to have that patience, that there's no shot clock. He's not playing chess. He doesn't have to punch the clock. And very soon after that, he locks that ball, gives himself a chance to start multi-ball if he hits it.
There it is. Nice shot to the cannon there. It took him 3 or 4 tries to the skull shot to get that lock, but he pulled it off with patience.
If you don't lose the ball, it's okay. He kept his composure, gave himself a little bit of self-talk to get refocused, and was able to nail it. And now, ultimately, he'd like to lock a couple of these balls to get the jackpots.
And get that third
worth
lock.
more.
He's got a 3-way triple arrow with no seconds left on the timer. He makes the shot to light the triple jackpot.
At the buzzer, it's good by Josh.
22.5 million if he can make this shot. And Josh providing his own yes there. Now it gets even more as Josh, if he can put the ball back in the skull, he can try for super. He's got it. He's going to try for a 50 million super here. And he's even got control.
He's got ball in the left flipper right where he wants it. He can really line this thing up. That thing's moving fast, adds another element, makes this a more difficult shot.
And he's got it. That's a super jackpot. Wait, what? I don't know what. All right, what happened there? Looks like he got the super, but
he definitely hit the super, but I don't see
his super. He doesn't have the 50 million.
Yeah, his score has not been totaled, so there's something going on there.
I'm not sure Josh even knows it. He thinks that he's made a 50 million super, and
he's feeling pretty
control
good.
Of the ball again, and he finally sees the score.
I think he just knows, like, wait a second, I nailed it. I nailed that thing. Something is
so
wrong.
We're going to take a little pause here to get a judge's assessment. Kevin Martin, the director of Papa, will come and make a ruling here about what happened. I think he made it. What do you think?
I think he definitely made it. All signs pointed to a direct hit, and for some reason the score has not been totaled correctly, in my opinion.
Now, when Arnold tells you make a direct hit or a nice shot, you ought to get the points.
He doesn't make mistakes. I mean, who's gonna argue with Arnold? He'll terminate you.
You can't argue with that guy.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So there's Josh's head. We got Kevin's head too, and Kevin is awarding him the 50 million.
Something you don't see very often, where a game made a mistake like that. I think Kevin made the right call, and it's going to add those points. It was clearly a direct hit. He didn't get the points. Everything is right in the universe.
Oh, and a slingshot drain for Josh ends his ball at 29 million or 30 million. But wait, no, it's actually 80 million with the 50 million super. So that's something to bear in mind going forward as Kaylee George takes over as player 4.
Those other players are going to have to remember, keep that in the back of their mind. It all the more reason not to play against your opponents, just to play against yourself in the machine, trying to get the best total and not worry about what you see in those other 3 players.
Absolutely. As Kaylee makes a really nice out lane shake on the right, he's going for the backhand like we saw from Jim, and that is a tough backhand with that big yellow rubber.
I think we might see them abandon that strategy and just try for some post passes, as we've seen nothing but misses from the backhand on that skull shot.
So far, nobody's made it from the backhand, and Kaylee's in trouble. He's got to get control. Oh, boy. Oh, he makes the backhand sort of on the fly.
He trickled it up there. It worked its way up there. Now he's got it lit, and he's just trying to one-time it up there. Felt like he had the right angle to make that shot.
Oh, God.
So close. Oh, there's a straight shot. Right up the middle, lines it up, sets himself
usually we
up.
see Kaylee with a lot more ball control in this, and he's kind of making on-the-fly shots, but it paid off as he rips into multi-ball.
Now he wants to get these balls locked up here and increase his values.
So each ball in the lock will be worth $7.5 million to Kaylee. Ideally, and there's one ball drained, so he can still get a double jackpot worth 15 if he can lock both balls.
Got to make something happen here. That was a nice save there, but a really quick slap save.
Made all the more difficult by having 2, and here he's got 1 on each flipper. And there's the backhand we were after before.
He's got that going. He's got himself pretty well set up here. Now that's such a short shot. If you miss that, it comes screaming back at you. So there's not much room for error on that inner orbit.
Absolutely, not much room for error on any of these shots, and neither on this one. He still needs to make this shot for the 15 million jackpot.
Awesome. Arnold was nice enough to be awarding him the points. No ruling needs to be made here. The scores have been tabulated, and he's happy with that jackpot.
Arnold is not so good at addition, I think. But, yeah, unfortunately, Kaylee's multi-ball's over at 20 million. And we'll see if he can get back into the second one.
He's
Later multi-balls are made
now.
more difficult by a timer on the lock target. So you not only have to get it in the skull, you have to get it in a certain amount of time. And that right out lane area, very challenging. The post on the right out lane has been moved up to its maximum position to make that extra hard. So as ball one ends, we have Josh Sharp with a healthy lead. But it is catchable, and all four of these players are capable of pulling off this kind of score. And Andrei Masenkov will take over for his ball too.
All of these players in the past have had one ball that can really change a game. So you lose your first ball quickly, you got to shake it off, be mentally focused, and really try and make something out of a 2-ball game now.
Absolutely, and here's Andrei heading right back to multi-ball. Great shot. As we saw from Josh and from Kaylee, you want to lock those balls up. Putting a ball in the skull is the ideal because that ball will stay there regardless. The other two locks are on timers. So, and there's one, and oh, that was pretty.
That was some excellent timing. So he did that in the proper order, got it done quickly before he had a chance to lose those.
Pulls off the jackpot shot. Those jackpot shots are a little tense.
They are. You'd think they'd be easy. I used to have a T2, and I missed way more of those shots than I ever thought I would. Now with that thing moving, it becomes even more challenging.
Ooh, the crowd groans a little bit as Andrei misses his shot at the super.
The crowd couldn't contain it.
And the big difference there between Andrei's shot and Josh's shot is that Josh had the second ball under control, so he could concentrate completely on that super jackpot shot. Meanwhile, Andrei had to worry about the second ball as well. Andrei starting video mode.
Just like that old T2 shooting video game.
And hopefully Andrei can pull off some score here. Every target is 100,000. And if he can finish it, he gets an extra 5 million.
It's always nice in video modes to know that the ball is never in danger. Anything you get is gravy on top, and now that ball's going to be kicked back into play and start a multi-ball.
Video mode is what pinball is all about.
This was the first DMD game, so it was a great. G2 was a great title, and Steve Ritchie decided to go with the video mode.
Meanwhile, we see Andrei playing another fantastic multi-ball. He's put the ball back in the skull and trying to lock the second ball for the 2x jackpot. Andrei earned this multi-ball by the left return lane, starting the multi-ball from the 4th award. He's about to pick up another 15 here and closing in on Josh's score, I believe. He's ready to try for the super again.
He's
There's
ready
the skull. He's hit
and
it
willing.
down. He's got one more shot. We'll give him a chance for the super. Oh!
Got to keep control of that other ball.
My goodness. Playing some great pin right here, and he's got control. He's got a chance for the super again. Yes!
Beautiful shot. He did a nice thing there. Put that ball into the left orbit so he didn't have to worry about it. He couldn't get control of it on the flipper, but he got the ball up to the top of the playfield where he did not have to worry about it. Was able to concentrate on the super and knock it down.
Beautiful play by Andrei as he takes the lead with 107 million. Puts that in the left for an extra 10 million cash in. Just a little emphasis point on that 50 you just picked up. 118. Fantastic ball we're seeing right here from Andrei.
Little gravy on top of some ice cream there with a cherry on top.
We'll see if we can get back to that multi-ball again. He's got to go for the second one. Players may instead go for some alternate strategies, but given the success they're having with the supers and the multi-ball, why not just go back to that well?
I think so. It gets a little bit harder each time, but I think it's still the best approach for these guys to get a little bit of safety with some extra balls and score some big points. Chopping wood on this game really doesn't equate to a whole lot. The super jackpots are where it's at.
And once one player puts up a super, it's pretty much chase it. Everybody else is going to have to get that. Oh! Fantastic ball for Andrei Masenkov. A cheer from the crowd here as he puts up another 7 million just in bonus. 127 on the board already. As Jim Belcito takes over, he's got to be feeling a little snake bit, having seen two players hit supers around him.
He knows exactly what he's got to do.
That is true. He's got to go for that lock. That difficult lock shot just wreaking havoc on all players.
There's a whole bunch of ways to miss that shot, and he's scaring the heck out of that skull. He's getting close. He's just not quite on it
yet. You can make the shot and get punished for it, as we just saw. That ball returned too close to the center for him, and he was forced to put it in danger, and it found the right out lane. Here comes Josh Sharp, and with 80 million on ball one, you'd think, oh yeah, that's pretty safe, right? Nope, you're back down. He's down by 40 million or so as he takes over for his ball two.
All the more reason to put the pedal to the metal, and I lost a whole bunch of matches to Josh Sharp in the past, and in one instance, I had him down one game, and we both had poor games, and he kind of told me, you know, never let up when you have a chance to take down an excellent player. Never let your foot off the gas. So he probably felt like he was looking pretty good with 80, but it's never enough. You've always got to build up as big a lead as you possibly can.
He starts the second multi-ball here, and he actually put a ball in the side lock almost immediately. What a well-played shot that was. But he's going to have to put the second one in the skull within 10 seconds, or it'll kick back out again.
Timer is counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not getting no pause on the clock up in those pop bumpers. The clock continues to roll. Nice save there. Keep it out of the middle.
This is some very strong multi-ball play. A tough carom there cost him, but he's looks like he's going to get a chance to make a pity jackpot here. 7.5 million pity party if he can make this shot.
Pity pinball party. He'll take it. Every 7.5 million counts.
Every point counts. 7.5 million is nothing to shake at. He's down by 40, but not anymore.
Can't shake a stick at that. Arnold gave him the awesome.
It's only really slightly awesome, but it was awesome. All right, fine.
Josh not happy with it going halfway up the ramp. Usually those are the ones that end up going straight down the middle, so he wanted a little bit more momentum to get all the way up that ramp. Load the cannon.
It's a mystery award. What could it be? What could it be?
He was not happy. Big points. Get a little bit of a laugh from the crowd there. Big points, not so big points.
And Josh manages to put it back in the skull again. He's going to need 3 targets this time to get to the next multi-ball. It just becomes harder and harder. One more target to go.
It'd be nice if we could get 2 with one shot. And,
you got 2 with one shot. That is a good point there. You're only going to need 1 more shot. But Josh, I have a question here about the lock. He put the ball in the lock too late while the timer expired. So the lock target popped back up again. Normally the player will have the lock target down at this phase, but he just snuck it in there as the timer was expiring. So no compensation for Josh, and he's just going to have to pick it up. I think he'll get back in there. 1 more target to go. He also has the opportunity to make multi-ball off the left loop. With only 1 target to go, that's where he'll be focused, I think. He's got to hurry up. His hurry up looks more impressive than it is. It's just not that much, not worth that much.
It sounds pretty exciting, though. Arnold gets your heart beating a little bit.
Let's go. Steve Ritchie, the originator of the whole hurry-up concept. Black Knight, the original game to have a hurry-up feature, where it would score points based on how fast you did something. It's a really nice idea that he continues to use in games to this day.
It's stood the test of time.
Want somebody to get tense? You just tell them, hey, this shot is only worth a lot of points if you do it right now.
You wouldn't want to hold the ball and wait those out. You got to get those right away, and sooner you can get control of the ball, the better chance you have of scoring big points on those hurry-ups.
Meanwhile, Josh showing his mastery of some ball saves here on the right out lane with his hand hitting the side of the machine. Josh is somewhat of a master of just keeping the ball alive. And he's got multi-ball ready on the left loop.
That's the name of the game, especially with that center post missing.
Beautiful.
He's got some great wizard skills, and he's got video mode going here. No chance of dying, just adding up points.
Should be some easy points here for Josh. He's definitely good at this, and it will also give him multi-ball at the end of the rounds.
It's always a nice little bonus.
7.3, that puts him at 104 million total. with Andre at 118, he's actually starting to close 127. Sorry, he's closing. Oh, that was a great live catch there.
That's very, very timely when each shot is so important to be able to get control there, not mess around with it. It's great control.
Let's see if we can get ball control here. Oh, using one ball to hit the other back into control. That was beautiful.
No, I am not kidding you, sir.
This is about the longest I've ever heard this piece of music.
It's easy to dance to.
And we got he'll have 12 seconds to make another pity party shot for $7.5 million, and a fantastic slap save right there.
Yeah, I thought he was in some trouble there, but it didn't seem to bother him at all. He really got some nice, subtle, quick movements out of that.
And what's also clear to me is Josh is very comfortable with this game. He's either played another one just like it, or just played this enough times in the quarters and the semis to get used to it. He had the best score on Terminator 2 coming into the finals, and meanwhile Andre has put up the best score anybody's put up yet this weekend. The extra ball in this game is worth 0.
0, and hence the
and there's another extra ball. Second extra ball is worth double.
He'd love a 5 million or a 10 million, some kind of value associated with that, but an extra ball feels so good in the arcade. Not doing much for him here tonight.
He's even got more of that music.
That was a nice side slap there to keep that ball in the in lane and give him another chance.
It's just an incredible ball as far as just how long it's gone. I mean, with all of the saves and opportunities for mistakes, Josh has survived them all here, and like I said before, he's pausing now. Take a breather, take a drink, think hard about the next shot, and make it a good one.
Survive in advance, giving himself another chance with all those brilliant slap saves.
And did not do him very good there. He bricked it 3 times in a row. Oh boy. Oh, the flailing that's going on.
Oh, the humanity!
Oh, and a drain. Oh no.
He's not going to be happy with that. I mean, the ball. Very happy with the ball. Just that last
crowd cheering
drain.
for Josh there, but knowing him, he's got to be disappointed with the opportunities that were lost there. But he is at 117 million, only 10 million behind Andre. With multi-ball nearly ready, he needs one more target for the next multi-ball. Meanwhile, here's Kaylee.
Oh, wow.
And,
the double danger. The crowd shows
fantastic
their
save there by Kaylee. And,
oh, no.
So often that happens. You save the ball fantastically, and the very next thing that happens, the game sends it right back into danger. And really unfortunate there for Kaylee. He did miss the shot to the skull, so kind of paid for the missed shot. But Andre with ball 3 now, and he's got a huge bonus sitting in wait for him from a held bonus from the previous ball.
Andre, he's got a huge bonus. Always nice to have that ball saver going.
Yeah, he used up his kickback here, but still got opportunity. And he's got the He's got the. Oh no!
The
that
danger tilt.
That tilt cost him a lot more than it appears. That tilt cost him about 8 million in additional bonus. So instead of 139, he ends his game at 130. And keep in mind that Josh Sharp is already at 117. Meanwhile, here's Jim trying to put together a good ball. Jim took a last in the first game in each of the first 2 rounds and trying to avoid that here. He really needs to get into multi-ball.
Sticking with the backhand, trying to get that skull shot down. A little bit early on the first one, a little bit late on that one.
Hasta la vista, baby. Like you said, I think that you had some good advice there about trying for a post pass or getting the ball over to the right with just the danger and difficulty of the backhand. Here's Josh with a chance to beat Andre for a likely first on this game. And that 10 million is huge right there. He's got it already. How fast was that?
That did not take long. The blink of an eye, he's locked in on that left orbit.
And so with the 50 million award, he now is past Andre Masenkov, and now the focus turns to just piling on. He's going to try to just earn whatever points he can. Oh, and look at that. Back into multi-balls, he's able to knock down the skull target and have the ball go in behind it.
He gets right in behind that thing. Some players shoot it on the way down. He chooses to use some patience, allow that thing to swing by, give himself all the possible information he could use to be very accurate, and he really hasn't missed that shot tonight.
This is, it's pretty remarkable here that we've seen Andre and Josh put up the best and second best games of the weekend here on Terminator 2 in the grand final with $10,000 on the line. Josh going for another pity party jackpot here, $7.5 million, which makes that. Oh!
Sounds like he got wounded. Sniper got him in the thigh.
Dude, it was only $7.5 million, and you're winning.
I think that really speaks to the quality of these guys rising to the occasion, playing their best pinball when money's on the line. They feel the pressure, they embrace it, they love the spotlight, and they step up. And you see that with the great players playing better than they have, better than anyone has in preliminary rounds, qualification rounds, and setting the table here for a great final.
Absolutely. And Josh now going for payback time, and he's got it. We haven't talked about this yet, but payback time is a 20-second opportunity for $5 million per shot.
If you don't miss shots, you can really pile it on here. This game has such good flow going ramp to ramp. You can really set yourself up with some nice shots, and you can put up some big points in a short amount of time.
And, interesting, Josh going to kind of hop the ball over and make the left ramp repeatedly there.
He must prefer that one. It seems to be working for him. I guess that little hop was putting that ball just nicely in the sweet spot of the right flipper where he didn't need to waste any time, and he really had that locked in. No sense going with crisscross. If you can get locked in on one ramp, you remove some variables.
Right. Oh, another opportunity here for a bonus. Oh, hurry up. This could be worth it.
Hurry up, activated.
15 million. Let's go. Go. Josh is not going or running. But a power in lane there as hurry up expires. I'm thinking Josh is probably looking to go back into multi-ball, but multi-ball is getting pretty hard. I think it'll be 4 or 5 shots if he gets back in there.
It's going to take a while, but he has the ability to make the saves necessary. This important shot, you know, that skull shot, ends up coming right back to the middle, so it favors a player like Josh who has the ability to just nudge the machine just enough and get a lot of saves, and gives him repeated chances to get back into multi-ball.
And he seems to be choosing to go back towards the payback time and just pick up a little bit of millions here and there, whatever he can grind out of that. The low-hanging fruit of those millions.
I always like the low-hanging fruit. I can usually get some of the higher-hanging fruit as well when I'm trying to pick fruit.
Josh's final ball ends, putting him at 186 million with the 50 million extra from that super. And actually, it looks like he may not even have needed it. He passed Andre fair and square, regardless of what Arnold had to say about addition. But here's Kaylee, and Kaylee with an opportunity to win the game outright with a multi-ball. The super jackpot is worth 50 million, and 2 super jackpots would give him enough to pass Andre. 3 would give him enough to pass Josh.
2 is good. 3 is nice.
Wow.
And
he's bitten there by that center post. Normally, a player would just let the ball bounce off the center post there and take it back. But with the center post gone, he knew, and he had to make a desperation save to try and get that going.
That's the risk you take with a shot like this that ends up straight down the middle. He had to give it everything he got, and just a little too much on the side shimmy shake.
And both Andre and Josh entering initials for their performance. Andre for his dad. Josh celebrating his brother. Any final thoughts on this game?
Impressive game by some impressive players, and even though the game tried to take 50 million away from Josh. He won it outright with the score. Didn't even end up needing that super, but he played with a lot of confidence, had a lot of nice saves. Sometimes took him a little while to get things started, but once he got the ball in that cannon, he was pretty well money from there. He was automatic.
Yeah, and Andre plays a fantastic ball too. As you said, one ball can mean it all sometimes, and for Andre, it really was a one-ball game. He had a fantastic second ball with the super and some other play.
Oh yeah.
So as we go to game 2, Josh Sharp has 4 points, Andre Masenkoff 2 points for second, Kaylee George 1 point for third, Jim Belcito 0 points for his 4th place finish, and the next game will be